Welcome back to Stamping at the Warren, and I'm Kim Tolton, and today I'm going to be showing you the different types of stamps that Stampin' Up offers, and also how they need to be mounted, so the different ways that you would mount the stamps. So we're looking at a combination of Photopolymer, which is here, and this one's a bit of a sneak peek from the upcoming celebration promotion in the new year. This one is a clear mount and this one is a wood mount. So I just want to show you the different ways of mounting them and assembling them, and some suggestions on storing them. So I'm going to start with the most simple, and that's the Photopolymer. So this is a real sneak peek. This is called What I Love. So if you are not familiar with Celebration, Celebration is the biggest event in the Stampin' Up year, and for every £45 you spend on current products, you would qualify, with any qualifying order, you will be able to select a free item, and this will be one of the free items, and there is quite a number that's going to be on offer this coming year. So watch out for the new year for more information on that. As I say, it is a really big time, and if you're thinking about becoming a demonstrator, it is the time of year that you really want to go for it, because you get an extra 33% in products. Right, so let's get on with what I'm actually here to talk to you about today. So Photopolymer stamps are clear and they are unmounted. So they come with an acetate, two acetate covers. One is just a cover, the other one is the one that you can store on, and it is it's printed as well with the different images. Now this particular stamp set is a two-step stamp set. So what that means is that you would select the most or least defined stamp, you overstamp that with the middle defined stamp, and then you stamp that again with the most intensely detailed stamp. And you can get some fantastic effects using the techniques. And I will be doing videos on that later on in the new year. Now Photopolymer, they're like a bit like toffee, so they're very stick to acetate blocks. So this is an acetate block you would mount onto this. The thing with Photopolymer, the Photopolymer does stain, so you do need to be aware of that. It doesn't affect the function of the stamp whatsoever. If anything, it actually helps you, because once a stamp has been used and it takes up some of the colour of the ink that you've used, you actually get to see the definition. So it's not necessarily a downside at all. Once I start using them, I tend to stick them on the inside cover of my cassette. So that's brilliant, and it's a great way of storing them, and they're really quick and easy to access. So that's your Photopolymer stamps. The other thing you need to be aware with Photopolymer stamps is that you can't really use archival inks with them. You can, but you won't be able to clean them, because you can't use Stays On ink cleaner, which is what you need to use to actually get archival inks off of rubber stamps. And the reason for that is has a detrimental effect on your Photopolymer stamps. So you can by all means use Stampin' Mist, but it won't get the most of the staining off. You're better off using something like Early Espresso if would be using black, or Smoky Slate if you were going to be using grey, basic grey. So that's your Photopolymer stamps. Next I'm going to show you wood mount. Now the first thing you will notice is the difference in thickness of the cassette here. So wood mounted has a much thicker cassette. The photopolymer one in general, unless it's a large stamp set, is just the same size as a DVD cassette. So it will go, they can be stored in DVD racks, which is exactly how I store my clear mount and wood and photopolymer stamps. Right, so wood mount, the benefit of wood mount is if it's a stamp you're going to use lots and lots and lots and lots of, or if you only have a small stash of stamps, so storage isn't an issue, then the benefit of wood mount is that you don't have to mount the stamps up on acrylic blocks. They're already on a block, which is the wood. Now the one I'm showing you is actually from Celebration last year, which was See You Later. So this was one of the free stamp sets that was on offer last year when people purchased a qualifying order. So what you get in there is you get a sticky sheet or a sheet with transfers on, and you get wood blocks. So take those out. I always organise them into size because it makes it a little bit easier when it comes to working out what stamps go on what blocks. And then in the cassette as well is an adhesive. This is an adhesive covering, and you have your stamp plate here, so you just pop out all of the stamps, and it is easier to pop them all out and mount them at the same time, so that you can know which stamps go on which, because there's nothing more irritating than mounting them up and then realizing you've got them on the wrong way round, and then it is a real pig to get them off again. So when you are selecting what goes where, the crucial thing is that the rubber mustn't overlap. Okay, so it mustn't breach over, otherwise you're going to get uneven pressure and you won't get a nice clear stamp. So just make sure everything fits. Now that one needs to be on a bigger one because it was overlapping the edges there, and that one fits on there nicely. So all you do is you remove the backing, and you will see that there is a sponge here, and that's what gives you the even pressure when you stamp. So gently hold the stamp in between your two forefingers, your thumb and forefinger, and I put my hands firmly on the work surface, and then I use my hands against the block to work out when I have got the stamp pretty much in the middle, and I drop it down gently and give it a press, and that's mounted. So don't get rid of these bits because they're great for doing mosaic work. So I keep all of mine. That's just the outside bits to the stamp. So you would just go along and do all of that. So I'm going to put these back in here. Oh no, I forgot a step. Look, you want to put your sticky on, so you just match up which one is for which. So this is the birthday one, so you just peel off the transfer. Make sure that you have it sort of in the same orientation, so don't have it upside down like that. Make sure it's in the same orientation, then you flip it on the vertical, so when you put your sticky transfer down, you know that you've got it the right way around. And then just using the same principle as I did with mounting the stamp, put the sticker on, and then you know what's on your stamp. Put those away. Obviously you would go ahead and you would mount all of your stamps then. Now some stamp sets, wood mount stamp sets, are absolutely crammed into the cassette. If that happens, then once you've mounted them all and you've done the jigsaw puzzle to get them all back into the cassette so it will close, before you close it, photograph it with your mobile phone. If you can print it off and put a photo of it in there as well, even better. And then that way you won't be trying to work out that jigsaw puzzle every time you use that stamp set. So that's your wood mount. And for the clear mount, I'm using Gorgeous Grunge, which has to be one of the top selling stamp sets. It can be used for just about everything. If you search on Pinterest for for creative ideas using Gorgeous Grunge, there will be thousands and thousands. It's great for making backgrounds. Well, it's just amazing. I've made so many stamps using Gorgeous Grunge, and it's one of the favourites in my card craft classes as well. So you'll see here that there's already one that I've put a transfer on, and that's because I always keep a couple of stamp sets aside to show people in class how to put the stamps together. So I'm going to show you just with one stamp. So this is another DVD sized cassette, so it can be stored in DVD racks. Mine are wire racks, so I can get, I think, 25 per rack, tool rack, and I've got 8 racks, so that's a lot of stamps. Yes, I'm a hoarder. Right, so you want to, I'll take that one to one side for a moment. So you just want to pop out just like you did with the wood. And again, you will notice red rubber here, and there's a foam layer here. The difference is how they're mounted. So this is, I call it the tire mark. It's got that sort of effect. So you've got covers over the sticky images, so they're split. You will find the split either horizontally, vertically or diagonally. So just find that split, pop your fingernail under and just peel off one side. Then turn it around, put your fingernail down onto that sticky bit just slightly, and that will stop the whole thing from coming off in your hands, and then that doesn't work quite so well mounting. So peel the other side off. You then take the backing off of your stamp, and you hold your stamp in firm fingers. You just touch down the edge, one end, and you're looking to put this down in the void left by that cover. Okay, so you pop it down, give it a press, flip it, and there is your mounted stamp. And these do need to be used with an acrylic block. So what you would do is you would turn it upside down, press it for about 10 seconds just to get the warmth in there and get it sticking on the acrylic block, and then you can turn it over. You can see through the acrylic block to see the stamp you've got and your placement, and that is your clear mount. And I store mine by keeping the outside piece. I turn it upside down, and then I store my stamps face up, so they're fitted into here, and you can see what they are easily. Now the other things with all of the cassettes is just to know your way around the cassette, around the stamp set. So at the top in the green section you will have the title, so this says Gorgeous Grunge. In the bottom you will have, and it's gone around the corner, but it's C for clear mount, so that will either be here or down in the corner here. It tells you how many stamps are in the stamp set, so if you open up and there's a void and you're thinking which one am I missing, you can work it out because you've got the images on the front of the cassette, but you've also got that same information, so the name of the stamp and the images. This is slipped round, so that's quite easy to rectify. You've just got a little pocket here, tuck it across, and that should be back in place. So she. There you go. Okay, can you see that? So you've got the title and you've got all the images of the stamp set there. So pop those back in, pop my stamps back in, and that is the clear mount. So that's your 3 types of stamps, how to mount them. Wood mount, I find I keep one rack that is just for wood mount, and I stack everything on its side like this so I can see what's in there, and I just do everything alphabetically because I find it easier to locate all of my stamps. You could just have them up on a shelf and have them face out. These just go in wire DVD racks, so that's a clear mount, and the photopolymer, unless it's a very large stamp set, goes in DVD racks as well. At some point in the near future, in the probably early in the new year, when I get my new video camera, I will do a walk around my workshop, and you'll be able to see how I store all my supplies and the space that I have here. So that's it for today, and I will speak to you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I hope you like the new layout for the video. We've played around with it a little bit to try and get it so it's easier for people to see and easier for me to work in. So I've got a lot more space now in which to move and have all of the supplies. So ta-ta for now. Thanks again. Bye.